It is a really cold, windy, rainy, and wet afternoon here in Vancouver. So if you hear the pitter-pattering of water outside my apartment window, then I apologize. I can't really do much about that. However, we actually have ourselves some news. The Detroit Red Wings have made themselves a signing, and we've been talking this entire summer about how the right side on defense needs some support. There's always going to be a little bit of a drop-off after Moritz Seider, so what's the best way to go out there and combat that? You gotta get yourself some guys, and the Red Wings have done just that, signing D-man Travis Hamonic to a one-year contract with an AAV of $1 million. Now, this was announced earlier this morning, and as you can tell from just the numbers and the replies, this has gotten people talking, and I kind of don't understand it, to be honest, because in my opinion, I just don't really think Travis Hamonic is that great of a player, and that's coming after someone who has seen him play in Vancouver and a little bit in Ottawa too. The first reply, Sens Talk, Ottawa sending in a sleeper agent, implying that he is not good and that he is going to make the Red Wings worse. The Grindline guys posted that Travis Hamonic has a wins above replacement metric of 2. So, you want to have a high score. The max you can get is a 99 or a 100. His ranking is 2. He's a 1 percentile offensive player and a 7 percentile defensive player. He's not good in terms of the advanced analytics and the statistics. Oh, thank goodness. I was worried that ASP might crack the lineup this year. Bench Rates went out there and posted that Travis Hamonic has about $700,000 worth of contribution value to the hockey teams that he plays for. I mean, the numbers say it all. You're looking at a lot of red, a lot of low numbers over here. Travis Hamonic is not going to be a needle mover, top-tier defenseman. Let's go over the profile here because he's 34 years old. By the way, Travis Hamonic turns 35 tomorrow. So if he had just signed his contract the day after, I think he could have gotten some bonuses. Is that correct? I'm not too sure about that. But Travis Hamonic is 34 years old, 6'2", 205, right-handed D-man, drafted by the Islanders, 53rd overall back in 2008. Hamonic then eventually made the Islanders, maxing out as a 33-point defenseman in 71 games, literally a decade ago. Give it some time, and Hamonic inevitably finds himself in Calgary. He spends 3 seasons over there, and then he goes over to Vancouver. He has 2 seasons, and admittedly, he had decent point production in the first one. 10 points in 38 games is not terrible. The second one, 7 points, 24 games. However, it was very obvious that Travis Hamonic was just not a good defenseman for the Vancouver Canucks. To be fair, though, the team in this time frame wasn't great, period, so Hamonic was just a symptom of the cause. And ultimately, Hamonic got traded from Vancouver to Ottawa. This was a deal that I think it was Patrick Allvin at this time already. I'm not too sure. If it was Benning, then okay, great. He was traded for a 3rd-round pick. I remember that was a very big deal back when it happened. I was in Denny's and I had to step out into the parking lot in the rain like this to make a video about it. But Hamonic had 3 points in 19 games in his opening stint with Ottawa. In his first full season with Ottawa, he had 21 points in 75 games. Then he played 2 more years and didn't really do all too much. 6 points and 7 points before becoming a free agent. So Travis Hamonic does not really move the needle all too much. I'd say he's a little bit slow. He can be physical. But other than that, I mean, I don't really think he's going to go out there and totally take out Axel Sandin Pellikka's opportunity to make the team. Hamonic was playing in the AHL with Abbotsford just a few years ago, before his entire stint with the Ottawa Senators, so it really is going to be seen here just whether or not this guy is even NHL caliber anymore. To help us out, let's go over onto an article posted by Josh Erickson on ProHockeyRumours.com that talks about how the Red Wings indeed signed Travis Hamonic. The Wings signed right shot D-man Hamonic to a 1-year one-way contract. The Manitoba native will earn $1 million with no potential performance bonuses, as he missed the age cutoff contract of 35+ by a few weeks. Hamonic, who turns 35 tomorrow, was a second-round pick of the Islanders in 2008. While he was a top-4 fixture out of the gate for them, subsequent stops with the Flames, Canucks, and Sens since his departure from New York in 2017 have seen his game slowly trail off as he aged. That was especially true over the last 2 seasons. Ottawa had acquired Hamonic from Vancouver near the 2022 deadline and inked him to a 2-year, $2.2 million contract extension in the summer of 23 after his first full season in the Canadian capital saw him produce 21 points in 75 games, averaging 18.34 of time on ice per night. Immediately after the signing, though, Hamonic's game dropped below replacement level. Over the life of the deal, during which a no-movement clause prohibited the Sens from waiving him, he played 107 games with 13 points, a -26, and he averaged only 16 minutes per game. His possession impacts, particularly in 23-24, were among the worst in the league. That year, he had a -10% relative Corsi impact at even strength despite starting the majority of his shifts in the offensive zone. In total, Ottawa was outscored 77-44 and outchanced 787-635, with Hamonic on the ice at 5v5 in the last 2 years. Given the Red Wings' possession struggles, that makes Hamonic a peculiar fit, particularly on a guaranteed deal with a 7-figure cap hit when he was likely approaching PTO territory. Jack Johnson, a veteran lefty with similar underwhelming impacts in a similar role, recently settled for a tryout with the Wild. This is where we get into the interesting parts on the Red Wings lineup. They already have a wealth of 5 to 7 caliber veterans on their roster, including Gustafsson and Hall. Right shot depth was a bit of a concern for them, with Hall and Jacob Bernard-Docker as their only experienced options behind core piece Moritz Seider, but Hamonic presumably slots in behind both of them on their depth chart as he battles for a roster spot in camp. It's worth noting his $1 million cap hit is below the maximum variable threshold, so he wouldn't carry a cap penalty for the Wings if they placed him on waivers for assignment to AHL's Grand Rapids. Detroit has 4 standard contract slots remaining after signing Hamonic. So, yeah, I said it in the title, it's kind of a weird signing over here. Travis Hamonic isn't particularly good, so I wonder what Stevie Y is cooking. Sure, this is not the same as some of the other contracts that Yzerman has handed out, where it's like, oh, here's a $5 million by 5-year deal for a guy that everybody's going to hate in the next 2 years. Hamonic, at the very least, is only signed on for 1 season, but I'm really interested in seeing how this season is going to go. So with all that in mind, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're an Ottawa Senators fan, what are your thoughts on Travis Hamonic? What are your thoughts on the big mustached guy coming over to Detroit over here? Vancouver fans, of course, are familiar with this dude, but now leave it to Detroit to give this guy an opportunity and to see his talent on display firsthand. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section about Hamonic heading over to Detroit. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.